Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we are making 3 DIY simple Christmas decors. Let's get to it. Okay, so our first simple craft is a snowman. I am using a flat candle holder, well, the flat candle holder plate from the dollar store, as well as the bowl and the wine glass. So I am cleaning all my glass with alcohol like I always do, and then I'm going to use paint to paint the pieces here. So I'm gonna paint the wine glass and the flat candle holder with DIY paints, a little black dress. So I'm gonna do that first, and then while that dries, then I will move to the next step, which is using the frost spray paint to do the bowl. Okay, so while that dries, this is the frost glass. So I went outside and I spray painted. Well, it's not really paint. It's just, it gives it the frost look on the glass. So I took it outside. I sprayed that down really quick. So I don't put it too close because then I'll have like drips coming down. But you do it from a good distance. But I sprayed that down. While that's drying, I pulled out my ribbon to make a bow. So this is the wire ribbon. I don't know why I picked this one, but it's the one that I had right here for this, and I made the bowl, and then I made the little part for the bottom, and I tied it up. But I do end up gluing that to the hat part because this is what's gonna go on the hat of the snowman. Okay, so once I have all the pieces for the bow, I'm going to use my hot glue gun to glue the wine glass to the candle plate. So after I'm done gluing that, while that dries completely, I'm going to finish up my bow, and then I'm going to glue that to the hat along with my little green little stem with the pine cone and the berries on it. And then I'm going to glue the bow on top, and then I'm going to put that on top of the other one. But you'll see how that turns out after I finish it, because I still have to put the eyes, the nose, and the mouth on the snowman and finish that off. Okay, so I used a Cricut to print out the face of the snowman. I got the face from designbundles.net, and I picked out the one that I wanted, printed it out, and then I put it on my transfer tape. So I cut my transfer tape in like some slits at the bottom of the smile, because since this is like round, it was easier to cut it at the bottom so it can just take that curve, and then it can go on the right way onto the bowl. So after I was done with that, I got some of my lights and I put them inside the bowl, and then I turned them on and I put the hat on the snowman. So that was how that turned out. That's how it looks with the lights on, and then I'll show you a picture how it looks with the lights off. So that looks cute. Actually, I like how it came out, but it was quick and simple. So for the next one, I have this piece of wood, and I cut this piece of wood 8 inches, I believe. But I was highly upset because when I did cut this piece of wood, it split in half. So I improvised and used my wood glue, and I glued that in place. And then I waited for that to dry, sand it down a little bit, and then I used my white Swan by DIY Paints to paint this in white. So after I was done, I paint all sides, front, back, sides, and I wait for it to dry, and then I sand it down just to show a little bit of that wood, and then I put my golden oak wood stain on top of that. But you see how that turns out after it's dry and I sand it down, and then I put the stain on it. Now I don't put a lot of the wood stain, I only put a little bit on it, and then once I do put that on, I get a wet paper towel and I wipe it down as much as I can. So once that was done, I let that dry a little bit. I use my heat gun to dry that up, and then I grabbed my twine that I had on hand, and I have some extra bells. I wrapped the twine around a couple times, and then I put some bells on it, and then I wrap around, put another bell, wrap it around, and then I put a third bell on there. So it's got 3 bells in total, and then I use my hot glue gun to of course glue everything in the back to make sure that it's all complete. I do glue the bells on there. Once I put them onto the twine, I put the glue in the spot that I want the bell to be in, and then I finish it off with gluing it on the back of this piece of wood. And then I grab my words that I also printed out of my Cricut, and then I put this on it. So like I put it onto the piece of wood. So this was also simple and quick. I had the piece of wood on hand, so I think it turned out really, really cute. I saw this idea on Pinterest, and I don't know, I wanted to incorporate it with my decor, and I thought it was really cute. So to the next one, which is a candy cane wreath. I did one last week. This is the second one that I said I was going to put on, that I was going to make this week. So I started to do it this way, but I wasn't sure how it was going to look, and I didn't like, because this this mesh from the dollar store is thin. It's not as thick as the other mesh that I would get at Joann Fabrics. So I didn't like that it was looking thin. You could still see the wire from the candy cane. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna wrap it around. So I wrapped it around. So I used the whole roll of mesh on here, because I wrapped it around, and then I go to the end, and I go back the opposite direction, and then just finish off the whole roll on this candy cane. After I do this, I go with the white one, and I wrap the white one around it as well. Okay, so I did glue like the ending of the red just to hold it in place. I did glue that on that, like in the back part. So when I start rolling the white one, I don't glue the beginning of it. I just tuck it underneath the reef part, and then I twist and then wrap around, twist and then wrap around. So that's how I did this on here, and then I cut it, and then I make like a little knot on the back, and I put some glue on the bottom just so it can have like that extra hold on it. But once I was done with that, I had this ribbon that I wasn't using, so I felt like this one was better than the other one that I just used on the snowman. So I used this one instead for this one, for this reef. And then I had some of the line ribbon that I used on my previous candy cane reef, and I wanted it to be red and white, so I put that one in the middle. I glued it in place, and then I make a cute bow, and then I add a little tail to it. But if you ever made hair bows, you know where I'm going with this, because I made like the hair bows before for the little girls. So I just used that same method to make this one, because I thought it would look cute to make it this way instead of the other way that I made it for the snowman. So I don't know, I thought this one went better. But anyway, once I did this, I glued it all in place, and then I put it on the candy cane. Okay, so this is the tail of the bow. So I'm gonna put the two bows that I made while they're drying up. I'm doing the tail of it. So once I'm holding that in place, I do glue those two pieces together, and then I add the tail on the bottom, and then I use the red and white ribbon to wrap it around in the middle to hold it all in place. Even though it's glued together, but still I give it that extra flair, you can say, with the red and white in the middle. Once I do that, I do apologize if it's moving a lot, but I switched tables because I had my laser machine on my other table, and I just, instead of taking it all out, I ended up just pulling out my folding table and putting everything on there, and that's how I did this craft for this week. But I'll go back on the table for Friday's craft. I promise it won't be moving as much. Once I was done making the bow, I did glue it in place on here, and I thought that actually looked really cute. And then I hanged it on my door, but before that I needed a hook to hang it on my door, so I grabbed some of that red and white ribbon, and I pulled it onto the white that's there. I do glue that in place, and then I add a little bit more glue once I pull it through, just so it can have something to adhere to, and it wouldn't open up or fall off or anything. So these are my 3 crafts that I made for today. But I don't know if you saw my video from before. I made the little stand that has the candles on it. I made that for the fall, and I had mentioned, if you see that video when I made this, I put all the fall stuff on there, and I thought it came out really cute, but I didn't glue the flowers. Like I said before, when I made that video, I did not glue the flowers on here because I wanted to be able to change them for the seasons, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just taking the fall leaves off, fall flowers off, and moving everything out, and then I'm putting my poinsettias that I have from, I would say, the previous year, and I just cut them out and I put them all in place, and then I put my decorations for the Christmas decorations. But you'll see how that turns out. But if you stay to the end of this video, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. Stay tuned to Friday's video. I will be posting some DIY gifts that you can make for Christmas, for a friend or a family member or someone special, but there will be thoughtful gifts that you can make at home. But you'll see that video on Friday, so look out for it. Okay, so to the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.